HEYITSMENESSER.
Here we are.
Here we are.
She just loves. Yeah, you're gonna be working today. But yeah, HEYITSMENESSER here, back with another episode. I'm here with the good Kenny. I was gonna say Kenny from Pints Malt.
Kenny from Slack Motive, I'm Black and Irish, from former Pints of Malt.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go off.
Said that.
No, I can't because we
Kenny
just
from Briggs.
you're not in Briggs anymore.
Oh, look, yeah, still ends though.
It still ends.
Still
Kenny,
ends, though.
if there's
Exit
anybody
6. I never understood that. Like, when some people used to start saying Exit 6, and I was like, wow, what's going on?
What is it on the M?
And then it's like, I'm on the M1, it's Exit 6 by Wigan. I'm like, you dickheads. No, funny enough, Wigan's Exit 5 and 6, so I don't know why they still stuck at 6, but
maybe 6 is the main one. But this is why you can't say still ends, because you're not somebody that is allowed to use the word ends. I'm not allowed to use the word ends, but I still use it.
Why? Is it because we're old or something?
No. Kenny, do you look like you're somebody that comes from the ends?
No, I'm not.
Exactly. So
that's a fair point.
Exactly. So if both of us on road, realistically.
Have you ever done that when you say something and you're just like, that's not me?
Kenny, that's my whole life.
I shouldn't say that.
That's literally my whole life.
Like,
why am I listening to drill?
It just doesn't sound right.
Why am I listening to drill? Like at no point in this day 2 years ago we're at Heady One.
Was it?
Yes.
That was the first. Wait, no, that wasn't the first time we met though. Because we met at Jafar's.
We did, but that was I didn't know you at Jafar's.
Yeah.
Like, but that was
you were just on a buzz. And you said hi to everybody. Literally, I was explaining this to Emma the other day.
Wait, what? Oh, because do you know what? I would love to hear everybody's how do you know Nessa's story.
That literally how I know her is that I was at Jafar's gig and this girl just came up and started chatting, and then she was like, "Yeah, I'm just walking back from America. I love Jafar's."
Did I just tell you my story?
All this energy,
You know
and I'm
what's
like,
funny?
what's going on? And then that's literally how you infiltrated.
No, that day.
I think you got drunk as well that day.
Don't be telling my life story on this song, please. This show is not about me. It's about everybody else. Yeah. Wow.
It was funny, man. I to be honest, it was actually a breath of fresh air because you don't usually get that from people.
Nah, that day was wild.
No,
that day was wild.
Just going up randomly saying, "Oh, I love you, blah blah blah."
No, that day was actually wild. No, Kenny, I have notes and I have a way that I wanted to do stuff, and you actually just thrown me off because I completely forgot about that. Do you know what? Do you know why I was talking to you?
Yeah.
It's because I ran away from my friends. Because they were late and I didn't get to see Timmy. So Ted opened, and I really wanted to see them. And then I got there right on time when Jafar's was coming out. So I was right in the front by myself. And then I was just going ham, doing fangirl, and I just looked back and you were just there. So I was like, hey. But realistically, me and you would never have had a conversation again if it wasn't for Pints of Malt.
Yeah, that's true.
So like some of them, I've had conversations with like here and there, but it's like we don't do anything that our paths would cross.
Yeah, I think that's how I feel a lot of times with a lot of people in like, let's say the scene.
Yeah.
Like I would know them, I would like interact with their things, I'd share it, support and all that, especially if it's good content. Yeah. But like I'd never actually
know them. But then football, I think football and Twitter just highlighted it.
That was when you like, especially with someone with your certain personality and like your interview and stuff like that. Then it's like, no,
it's not.
You sort of just kept coming and like I'd be.
It's not actually my personality that did it. It's everybody's love to slander me because.
No, this is the thing though. You keep saying everybody love to slander you. Why would we slander you if there's nothing to slander? Like you could have come back to America, gingerly.
Can you leave my house?
Just set up straight, soundly. Go to your concert. No, just enjoy.
And all of your lives. Okay, but tell me how miserable your life would be. Right now.
No, to be honest, it's actually.
I'm a breath of fresh air.
You're very good energy.
Oh, thanks.
It's a nice energy.
Yeah, gas me. But yeah, anyway, talking about. We didn't even do. That was the intro, it's not the intro because we have something here at HEYITSMENESSER called the elevator speech.
I see.
That everybody hates, but you have to do it.
Okay, what's
the elevator speech is, and one day I'm not gonna explain this something because everybody's pissing me off. Okay. The elevator speech is essentially a concept where you walk into an elevator, you're going from, it's like a business pitch speech thing.
I see,
You're going into one floor to the top floor or whatever.
Yeah.
You have that many seconds to sell yourself, whatever, introduce yourself. In that moment in time, you have a chance for your life to be changed.
Okay, I see.
Obviously, like you said, I'm a better fresh air. I've already changed your life, and I'm not going to do it twice. But maybe I could. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I would be feeling
that was a great line. I very deliberately was not going to do it. That was a great line. Great line.
But yeah, so you have about, 15, 30 seconds, whatever you want. Don't rush it. Take your time. Introduce yourself to the people. What are the main aspects of you that people should know? Like, who is Kenny?
Who is Kenny? That's a mad question. That's a very good question. Interesting question. Kenny is, my name's Kenny. Mad. I don't know. Fuck.
Don't look at me.
Still.
It's not, okay.
Do you actually put people on the spot like this? Yo.
Everybody flops every time, and I love it.
Cause like,
OJ goes, I just, I don't really put myself out there, you know what I mean? Just, I said, basically, you said DM for prices. You know those businesses that said DM for prices?
Oh,
that's what he did.
Nah, you're not.
This is your bio.
Okay, cool. Okay, my name is Kenny, Kenji16 on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to link up with me. I am part of Black and Irish. I work part of Slight Motive that run an online platform. Used to be part of Prince and More, where we were a pod. Had Nessa on, but like it's not anymore. And just living life and vibing in it, and trying to make that move. You tried. That's nerve-wracking.
Why is it nerve-wracking? You don't know who you are.
Yeah, no. See, this is the thing though. You think you know, like you do know who you are, but like when someone puts you on a spot like that, it's like.
But do you know what's funny is nobody's saying who they are, everybody's saying what they do.
I know, but like what would you say?
Because our identity tends to be in things that we do.
I suppose, yeah. Because like that's because
come to HEYITSMENESSER where you get enlightenment on your life.
Because I'll be like
a lot of the times you find out who you are through what you do though.
Yeah, no, for me personally, that's been the since college and like what I've been doing after college and stuff like that. That's who I found, what I enjoy, what I like, sort of my values and where I see myself in.
Yeah, what did you do in college?
Law and business.
Okay, and you're not using any of that.
I'm using my business.
Not all the stuff that you said is out. To be fair, it's your extracurriculars.
Yeah, it's my extracurriculars. To be honest, it's always been like my extracurriculars that have been like sort of the big interest for me. Obviously, I have a day job and work in a bank and stuff like that. I'm like,
money,
not in that way. Like I'm just a program coordinator or something. Not too major, right? But like,
okay, that's
so I do obviously try and use. I have to use my qualifications to get B's in it. But like and I suppose there is a passion there. Like there's like what I'm doing at the moment. It is enjoying it and stuff. And like there's areas that I'd love to go into, but aside from that, like everything I do outside of that, with Slight Motive, what I do with Prince and More, what I do with Black and Irish right now, that's where I like really get enjoyment.
Yeah.
Like I love spending it's all free time that I spend my evenings doing and weekends and stuff. And
you've been doing that for quite some time as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been since college. Yeah, since first year of college. So I started college in probably 2014. So yeah, since about then I've been doing whether it be AfroSoc, which merged into Slight Motive,
That's it. So you mentioned that you started in. Okay, first of all, what are your roles in all of these things, and then we'll dive deeper into it. So Slight Motive, what is your role?
Slight Motive, my role is I suppose I would be mainly like operations and kind of thing, instead of coordination and organizing. So the lads would do a lot of the production because they have like the skills in like photography, like recording, like something when you the editing and all that kind of stuff like that. So they'd have the skills there. I'd be more the man who sort of organizes things and tries to sort of like bring ideas to life and stuff like that. I suppose I would say I deal with like the finances, but like that kind of thing. And like I suppose when the lads started, I was going into final year, and they knew that like I repeated a year, so I really wanted to focus on final year. So they didn't want to bring me in. They started speaking about it in the summer, and so I didn't know about it until it was like September, October, and they sat me down and were like, okay, look, we weren't going to tell you about this because we wanted you to focus and stuff like that, but yeah, we need your help.
Oh, that's some good friends.
To like, because like I would be the kind of person to be sort of organize things and like put plans in place and stuff like that.
It would keep you busy, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like the guys are great. They have great ideas, great minds, but sometimes
they're scattered
everywhere.
Trust me, I've done something with Slight Motive. I know.
So they know like. So I suppose that's where my skill set lies, and that's what I've always like prided myself in. So that's why I was brought into.
And it's Slight Motive, not Slight Motif. Because I like saying Slight Motif.
It really depends on.
It gives a little je ne sais quoi.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
one thing I remember we spent loads of time. I think the lads already like come up to the name of it, but they spent loads of time going to okay, what is it actually called? Slight Motive, like. And we just call it what you want. Man. Yeah. You know what you're referring to.
So what is Slight Motif?
The way I describe it to people is an online urban platform just promoting urban culture.
Mad.
We started off as a magazine, where we've had 6 or 7 issues now. I think it's 7 issues where we just focus on Irish content creators, whether they be musicians, poets, fashion.
You've had
anything,
a couple of dancers.
Yeah, dancers. Anything that sort of is sort of some content and some talent. We're just trying to focus and put a spotlight on it. We've had podcasts on as well. So we started off as a magazine mainly, and then we moved into sort of YouTubing and like putting videos up. And then obviously we do photo shoots. Like with the magazine comes like photo shoots and like video and bigger, grander video concepts. That we've put together for like the likes of A92, not A92, AV9. I always get things up. AV9,
yeah, so did I.
Tuxin, Reggie. We've done some stuff with podcasts. We have obviously the No Cap series as well. And then we transitioned a bit to obviously we set up our website and we're sort of being like a media publishing.
And you've the playlist as well.
And the playlist and the Slight Weekly as well. So. Like people send us in different submissions or different articles. We try and whatever is like good content. We try and put it up on the social media or on the website. And then we're like I think we're trying to branch out into sort of more like press and media, where especially with like artists who sort of want to get their stuff out there and might not know the best way to do it, or like want to maybe even get like one thing that people don't know we do is that we're happy to work with artists who want to like, do like videos or get like singles out and like they have a concept or they don't have a concept and we can like flesh it out for them and record it. And I think for me the guys have really cool ideas and are really good at there's a Slight Motive aesthetic that we've built, and then so anybody who sees that who wants to sort of replicate that in their sort of artistry or their style of work.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Slight Motive. Like, especially like like you said, it's basically a one-stop shop for urban Irish things, and it's like it's really easy. Like for me, sometimes when I'm struggling to like pick up on new Irish artists, or just like when I started listening to Irish artists, like it was your pages that I went to and like reading that, like even reading or what did I watch? I can't remember if it was a video or I read something that you did about like Jafaris or
yeah, we probably did it. It was probably a write-up about it.
Write up about Jafaris, and I think it was a video with Simba. So it was like it was good to help me do background on other artists, and I think like even when I started doing this, like it was like because when you're doing something, you need to figure out why you're doing it right and what it complements. And yours was one of the things that I thought of. I was just like kind of using what you do, because it's like when you find out about an artist, you find out about something, you want to know more about them, right? You want to know what they do, you want to know eat, sleep, drink, like, well, that's me.
Exactly, you want it to be sort of interesting, not just the same old.
Exactly, and I think like for me, that's like the passion that I have, and it's like really nice seeing you have that, because things like this is what helps build a scene, because it's like the biggest problem that I've spoken to, even spoke to Kelly about it, is that it seems like it's mainly artists supporting artists as opposed to fans supporting the artists and stuff like that. But it's very hard to do that if there's not if there's not a working machine to bring what they've done out to the other people, because it's not an artist's job to promote themselves, like, in a way, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Their job is to make the music.
Exactly. There's only so much that they can do.
Exactly.
So much that they can, so many people that they can reach out to. They need other sort of platforms to push that out.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we discovered when we were in college, and because we did a lot of events with AfroShock, and we had a lot of artists at the events and stuff like that, and they just weren't really getting their dues. They weren't really getting sort of
recognition.
Recognition and publicity, and I suppose that's why we started it, and that's why we try and continue it, and we try and, like, we don't want to just do the same old, oh, where are you from? Oh, how are you? All
literally,
even though that's great,
but everyone basically has the same story at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Everybody's like inspiration. 90% of people came from church, and then
all of that exactly that whole jazz. Like, there's only so many artists that you can be inspired by in the world. We know,
literally, especially in the same genre. Like, exactly. I mean, you're gonna be inspired by the best ones.
Exactly. So that's why we try and come up with these, like, unique. Like, the lads have some mad ideas sometimes that I have to always be like, you don't have the budget or the capacity for that. But, like, I suppose it's good in that way, because we try and, like, push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, No Cap was a thing that we set up, I think, a year or two ago, where we were trying to see, okay, what kind of video content can we put up that's gonna be different, but it's still gonna be engaging. And, like, again, we had one of these sessions where we just sat, like, we were on a call, or we just sat down and we just, like, hashed down, like, oh, let's do this, and then it just became a thing. It just became a thing like that. And
my favorite one of those is J. Ronick and Cello. Like, I love.
I was there for the Cello one. He's hilarious.
They're both crackheads.
I absolutely love Cello. For me, Cello is the star boy of this year.
Literally,
he is the hopes of and dreams of that whole like new generation coming up.
He's just
literally
he's done the Irish thing. He's done the Irish thing perfectly. You can make music in that, like, do you know what I mean? And it's so, and that's what I was talking to George a second about that, and I think that's the privilege that the younger generation have over the older artists, because they grow up in the society, like, they're intertwined with the society, as opposed to taking stuff from this society, taking stuff from that society, not really having, like, your identity is not having a real identity in that sense, but the kids growing up now can boldly say that they are Irish as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that we're not or whatever, but we didn't grow up the same way.
It's different. Like, it's the thing of, and, like, you touch on it when you're, like, you can touch on it when you're Black and Irish and stuff like that. It's like growing up here, and sort of, even though we went through the education system here, we're still, a lot of us were still quite African in certain aspects. But these guys are like
orange bread Irish, true and true.
Like the music Cello makes, and, like, even though a lot of people have done it before, and, like, there's a few artists that have done it with that, so they have to do the same kind of thing, and it just doesn't sound as authentic, and it doesn't sound like, it's not any slight on them. It is what it is. It's not that.
For me, it's not even the music. Like, I feel like there's great music out there. For me, it's his backing. And you can see the authenticity, and you can see his heritage in that, because you're seeing people from Clondalkin, like, literally, I was on the bus to Lucan and Nangle Road or something, like, he mentions it in Dublin. I didn't know where that was. You know what I mean? It's almost like when I was in Toronto and I've seen Western Road and I was gassed. You know what I mean? It's the same way. It's like, you're mentioning things, and that's what I love about Pat Lagoon. That's what I love about Young Shakur. That's what I love about, like, Upgrade Z and all of these people, because it's like, you're mentioning things in Ireland, so it's like, when you're living it, you can bring it back.
Exactly, and like, you can relate to it. Like, exactly. And I think that's one thing that makes artists very successful. Probably makes the best artists for really special, is when you can relate to it, even if it's some mad thing.
Yeah, like, a mad concept.
Exactly, but you can still relate to it. Like, so, like Reggie, Officer, Cello. Them, for me, them three are like my favorite artists in Ireland. And, like, every single, when I'm listening to their bars and listening to them, and, like, picking up on different things, I'm like,
wow.
That makes sense. Like, Reggie's talking about Dundalk and stuff like that. I'm like, that's just up the road from me, man. For me,
I'm kind of sad that Reggie is not bigger right now. Like,
you know something, right? I hear what you're saying, but I think it's more of a case. I think for me, and I think with a lot of artists, what happened is that the year out, I think messed up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because for me, Reggie was the hardest person to come going into lockdown.
Yeah.
And if he still released a few stuff and things like that, but he's not been able to do any gigs and stuff and things like that. So I think that sort of slowed the momentum. But now coming out of it, like he's just released, I think Dundalk Boss a few weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and he has some stuff definitely has some stuff coming up. So
it's like mad. It's like, and that's another thing that I've mentioned recently. It's like, it's not that it's hard to, because it is hard to sometimes to keep up with these artists and follow them.
Oh no, it's so.
You know what I mean? Especially because like everything we see in mainstream media is not from here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's easier to feed on UK and US stuff.
Yeah,
do you know what I
sure.
mean? Like you actually have to put in effort to support people here, and like that's why it can seem like it's fake sometimes. But it's like, no, I actually have to go out of my way to do this because it's not what's in front of me all the time. And it's like, and that's kind of the last couple of months, like even about a year, I'd say at this stage, it's been hard for me as someone who actually enjoys their music and loves the scene. Like it's kind of deterred me from listening to it because it was just like the momentum, like you said, is gone. And a lot of the times listening to music is not only the music in itself, is what it symbolizes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like you don't want to listen to something that is just there and there on its own. You want to listen to something as part of a whole movement in itself. And like that's what for me was missing from a lot of people in the Irish scene. But once again, it's not their fault. It's just that you can't say without.
And that's exactly it. And like I hope with everything opening up, there's been a few gigs I've had.
There's been so many
serious FOMO because I've not been able to go.
First of all, where's the promotion?
Exactly. Cello, you give you 2 days to drop.
Literally.
And you said just pull up. I hear you.
I said just pull up. We have jobs.
Pull up like that. I can't do it. Like, give me time.
Also, like it's on Thursday. So I have a job.
Like it was. Like, I was.
Do you know what I mean? Like people, even the free gigs. It's class. It's free. Thank you so much. But man, I have a job in it.
Just can't.
There was one. Those Trevor guys. Cello. There was one. Was it last Wednesday or something?
Yeah, I think when Jola and Abby had a few the other day as well. Like they had two. Too many things.
And I was just like, where did
I think Cello has one tomorrow, Sunday.
He has, something like that.
Yeah, I know.
But he's opening for he's a supporting artist for Plantain Poppy.
Yes.
So I'm very excited for that.
I need to get my Plantain. Yeah. I wasn't going to go because I couldn't make it work.
Yeah,
but I'm going to try and have to make it work because I need to go. I need to see it.
Like
I need to see Cello live.
No.
I need to hear Dublin. I need to
live. You know the way. Remember how I was at Heady One?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like that.
I understand your hype now, and actually I understand why you love Heady One now because Heady One's lit. That guy is unreal. Oh my god.
When I was telling you.
To be honest, you are original day one because I remember I went to it. I didn't know. I think I got the ticket free or something like that. So, but I wasn't really listening to Heady like that. I'll go anyway. And it was alright.
I jumped into, that was even my second Heady One concert. Jumping into mosh pits.
Nah.
Oh my god, do you remember? You were on the bars and I was on the floor. And then, because sometimes I forget that I'm a girl. I'm actually a fragile human being, innit? Like, so I'm here in these bright orange Nikes. Like, I jump in this mosh pit. This guy pushes me out of it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh, this is just small boys. You know what I mean? They're fam. Rugby tackles me out of it, and then I'm grabbing onto the pin for ages. I was even watching the videos back, and I'm actually sorry. Look, like integration and all of that, but some of you people, if you don't understand the culture, don't come. I'm so sorry because I'm listening.
It always happens at festivals.
I'm literally
festivals.
The beat has not dropped.
Exactly. Just don't. Not. And I know.
It's like London Town, AJ Dino,
and they're already the thing that pisses me off is the mosh pits every 2 minutes. I'm like, my guy, just let me enjoy it.
I couldn't even repost it. I was like, because I can't let people know that I was at events that did this. Because what kind
those were good times.
That was amazing times because like that was
a good time.
We had Burna Boy, we had Heady One, we had there was an Irish artist around that time that had a show as well. I can't remember, but it was like October. It was like October 2019 because that's even when I started the Black and Irish. So that's when I came on here, and it it was almost like there was something consecutively.
That like I remember that was when I graduated I finished college that year, so I was just starting working. So that period from like 6 month period from like August to March was probably my favorite period because I was just active.
It was active, and then it ended with your live show, and then COVID.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I think it was like 2 weeks later lockdown.
Yeah.
Good times, man. Oh.
Yeah, those were great times.
You want to
sometimes,
cry?
Yeah, sometimes when I think about it, because I'm like, I was like, because Slight Motive was we were trying to do a lot of stuff at that time, and then Pint Small was really starting to peak. We were like getting recognition from a lot of different platforms saying, and I think we hadn't reached like a chart or anything like that, but we were really starting to peak.
In Ireland, you were big.
Exactly.
Because I don't think you thought that many people would be there.
No, not at all.
Like I remember when I came, Charlie was just like, Nessa, what are you doing in this kind of
fully sold it out, and there were some people that we didn't realize even listened to the pod, and we were like, what, you listen?
Yeah.
What, all this? I mean, for me it was like, and like speaking about the podcast, that was probably my favorite thing.
That was definitely the peak.
It had definitely the highlight, and like I wouldn't say that was the beginning of the end, but it was like when sort of like I think we needed to build on that momentum.
I think things changed. I think we're gonna segue to your word, segue. That's a good segue.
See?
Nice and candid. Let's segue into this. But I know you're saying you needed to build on that momentum, but I think what Pints and Malt symbolized changed after that, especially because of COVID and the things that happened during COVID. But I don't want to fast forward too much. But we're gonna stay on the topic of Pints and Malt. What was Pints and Malt, and how did it begin?
Pints and Malt. So basically, it began because like a lot of things that we've done in college. We always used to just spend a lot of time just sitting around in the college buildings, just chatting bare shit about everything and anything, especially growing up. And I remember one time we were chatting, I think we had a conversation for like 4 or 5 hours, and we're like, imagine we recorded that. That would have been like, that was a great conversation. Like when you look back, like, that was actually really good, you know? And then, so I think we started to I think that was when it was first mentioned. And I know at the time, Raphael and ZJ had a podcast. Well, they had one and then they stopped it.
I'm so mad that I never got that because
that was a great podcast. They actually did some really good content. They're both very talented people.
Yeah.
They're just stupid. Don't have sense, keep stuff up. Anyways, so that was the first time it was mentioned, and then I think Femi said it to me, and it was like, would you want to like do a podcast and stuff like that and have a chat? And I was like, yeah, I love to chat. I'd love any type of thing to try and create content. So I was like, yeah, that'd be dope. And then then he said it to Charlie, and Charlie was on board. So we're like, and 3 of us were in Trinity at the time, so we're like, all right, cool. And we're like, should we get a 4th person? I think it would be good with 4 people. So I was like, yeah. And then who are we thinking? And then we're like, Jibs.
Yep.
Funny person.
Jibs, yeah. There was actually probably maybe a 6-week period where Jibs carried your show.
Wow. I don't understand.
Like, I don't know what was going on in his life, but that guy was funny.
He is one of
every week he had something to say.
Funniest guys I know.
Till now, I cannot see a parrot and not think about that whole conversation.
He's just so random, he just comes up with that, and you're like, wait, where did that come from? Why are you? This doesn't sit in with the conversation.
All of your personalities were so perfect. Like for me, like not knowing you, like when I started listening, it was like Jibs was like his funny is like obvious, if that makes sense. He's like you don't have to take just your jaws are gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Charlie's funny was he's similar to Jibs, but he can be subtle about it.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
But in the presence of Jibs, they complement each other.
That is literally down to a T.
Literally.
Down to a T.
Like in there, it was like Jibs say something dumb, Charlie say something dumber. And it's like, who's gonna outdo the other person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was them.
And then the times when Jibs wasn't there, like they were like just naturally funny people in it.
Yeah.
Femi's a dickhead.
Femi is the straight up dickhead. He's always been. That's always been his character since I know him.
But it's amazing.
And it's so for me it's so endearing because it's just like he's the nicest guy, but he's just an absolute.
But it's like
tick, and he has
the things that come out of Femi's
if he wasn't a nice guy, right,
yeah,
he'd actually be a demon.
Yeah, because
he'd
it's
be
like
the kind of person to like take over the world.
Literally, it's almost there were so many like times when his contribution was just world domination. Like would fall under just exploitation, like would just F everybody, like do you know what I mean?
My favorite bit was, do you remember the synchronized swimming?
Oh my
where
God.
he did one, he was like, oh.
And it was just like,
y'all need
why?
to go listen to Fight to Walk, man. I'm not even lying.
It was genuinely like starting from the start. I'm gonna reload that because there was genuinely times when I was keying. Like before COVID, I had my setup Monday 90s baby show. Do you know what I mean? Like Tuesday to whatever music, whatever. Friday, either I listen to Pints of Malt first and then listen to my release radar, or I do like depending on how the Friday was going in it.
Yeah.
Or I'm taking her on a really long walk, like, and it was yous were on top of the world at the time, man. And then you win it, like you were the level-headed person that I'm not gonna lie, you took some slack. Or not, like you caught some strays in it.
This is the thing, right? And it goes back to how Pints of Malt said this, like the way you describe it and how like you describe the personalities is exactly how we were.
Yeah.
I think that's what really made me enjoy it so much, and made like listeners enjoy it so much.
Nah, because sometimes I'll be like, leave Kenny alone, man.
That's how it is.
Like there's a couple of episodes, where it would just open, you would try to do the intro, and it was slander for about 20 minutes.
Every single.
It was like even the last episode there, and
I couldn't do outro.
He was just like, I'm giving you one last chance.
I couldn't do it. Like he was. Oh no.
Nah, it was actually good to see, and you know what? It was like podcast just started in it. 90s babies were getting bigger for the UK, and it was like that's what ye symbolised for Ireland, and it was a place to go and hear about Black Irish culture, and just not even. I don't want to say that just yet, but it was just a typical day in the life of Black Irish people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just like all of us have gone through this shit. When you guys are talking about churches and you're talking about all of your experiences and stuff like that, it was just so authentic, and I loved it. And he's always had something to bring, and it was amazing. Like, and I'm personally like, I'm sad to see it go out the way it did. But I think it definitely use were a stepping stone for a lot of people to come through.
No, I appreciate that, and for me, I hope that's the case, and like that's all I enjoyed about it. Even just whenever I listened back, I was just like, it was good to hear like the lads' stories, and it's like see that it was very similar to mine. Obviously, we all grew up together and stuff like that. But like I think because we were all friends in a roundabout way, whether it be through college, in school, growing up, all that kind of thing, it just made it a lot easier to relate to.
Yeah. And
that's why we started it, because we thought everybody could relate to
I literally thought I was in the room with you.
These kind of things we were saying, you know? So, like, I'm so grateful for the time we had. I would have loved to continue it on. Obviously, life happens.
Can I say something I didn't like about Mental Model?
What did you like?
Because and this is why I said I changed it from you became a symbol for Black Irish culture. Initially, it was just your experiences in your everyday life, and then it became a symbol of Black Irish culture. And I think that was forced upon me through COVID. I think it went from this is how our everyday life is to we're speaking up for Black people and trying to help Black people. And there's nothing bad about that, but I think that pressure that came on you because you were the biggest in that sense, or the only one in that sense, and it was almost like when everybody was doing their BLM, blah blah blah, it was almost like everybody was going here for you to inform them about everything that was going on.
Yeah, I completely get, and I suppose that was there was a lot of pressure at that time where it was like, I suppose for me, a aside from the podcasting, there was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And we were really drained. Like literally last year was mad. COVID, Black Lives Matter thing, and then obviously being Nigerian as well.
Yeah.
All the whole NSARS movement, all that happened within the space of 6 months.
Yeah.
So I think that, and we spoke about all of that.
All of that, and it was almost like day in, day out.
Exactly. Every week we had to, like every week there was something else, so we had to speak on it.
Touch on
and
it.
like, and I think that was where it became like, okay, it was a bit draining, and like we figured out ourselves where it became like, okay, what are we going to talk about this week, or like, and I always try to say, lads, can we like switch it up, try not to.
But at the same time, we're stuck in our houses. There's literally nothing else.
And like sometimes we ran out of all the content from our childhood and stuff like that. But like, there's only so much you can say until you're repeating yourself. You get me?
But like, I don't blame you. Like, it was just a crazy time. It was so crazy.
And I think then when we sort of like this year when we started recording, we continued recording. And I think this year it just gotten a bit like, okay, it's getting a bit stale. We're not our conversations aren't flowing as well because we're just, I think part of the reason, the big reason was because we're not in person. Like we bounce off each other when we're in person, the same way all the lads bounce off each other when we're in person. And like I said earlier, like all the group chats have sort of just died down.
Yeah. What else are we saying?
Exactly, nobody's saying anything. So I think we felt the same when we were on the pod. And like it just, and then obviously life happens.
Yeah.
Then we moved away, I moved away, Jim moved away. The only person still in Dublin is Charlie.
Do you know what? Let me not even talk on Charlie's name in this something. Let me not mention that Charlie guy in this something. Because let me not talk about Charlie. I'll talk about Charlie off camera because if I swear for now.
Look, I didn't say anything.
No, I'm joking.
But no, I suppose a combination of all those were just like, yeah, I think, and then a lot of us are just doing other things.
Yeah, it's
Charlie obviously has music and we're focusing on Slack Motive.
Man, like magic and that.
Yeah, exactly. Magic. Oh, I'm so happy he's back on music because I remember the Days Boys days. I'm biggest fanboy of Days Boys ever.
On my YouTube, because you posted a performance of theirs. On my YouTube, it came up the other day. I said, "What is this?"
I love it.
I said, "What is this?"
It was the cringiest thing ever, man.
And their chinos and their haircuts split on Jim's eye.
And they're like, no. I remember that day in school because they came in and they were I think at lunchtime they went home and they got dressed and all the time and they were all the lads were sending them off and they were all wearing these nice clothes and we're like, oh yeah, going to RT, you know, and I was like, oh look at the boys, all this kind of stuff. Oh,
that's amazing. But yeah, like it was really nice. There was a time when you were charting, you were getting recognition.
Exactly, and for me that was it was mind blowing. I do think like being honest, a lot of it was around the George Floyd and stuff like that. People trying to showcase black talent and voices and stuff like that, which
is amazing.
It's amazing. It's probably not the way we would have liked to sort of blow up, I suppose, but it was still good to have that. It was still good to see that people are engaging in our content, and a lot of people. But we still had our core sort of listeners, people in Dublin that we'd see at events and stuff like that. It's like, oh, what's more? And that for me, that was the best thing.
Yeah.
I as much as I enjoyed doing it with the guys, like people engaging and people really enjoying it.
That's what you do it for at the end of the day. Like you do it because you like it, but at the end of the day, if there's no return on investment is seen in different ways, and it's not always monetary, especially when it comes to content.
For sure. We started it literally we just wanted to chat. We called it the Era Pod first.
Yeah. The episode when you went through all the names and stuff like that.
I came up with bare names. What's it? An Irish, a scale, all this kind of stuff. Then eventually it was Pints and Malt.
Whose idea was it?
Pints and Malt it was a combination because we were in a pub on Pearse Street with the producer Paddy, who I Head Stuff.
Wait, Head Stuff, yeah, I really like this.
Shout out Head Stuff.
Well,
Honestly, that guy Paddy he literally took a chance on us because he listened to the first time we recorded. We were just laughing. He was like, "I'll listen to these guys," and he just loved them.
Yeah, that's lovely. Love to see it.
And then
you're in a pub.
We were in a pub, chatting, and then we were obviously people were pulling pints and stuff like that. I was saying some pints. And then it was gonna. Then someone said something about jollof because
was it black pudding or something?
Yeah, black pudding, all this kind of stuff. And then there was like pints of jollof or all this. What was there? And then we had pints of malt. And it was like malt, pints, Irish, yeah, makes sense.
Everything.
And then we just added up.
Nah, everything about it was perfect. Exactly.
To be honest, I was very proud of that because it was like it's like the combination of black, Nigerian, Irish culture.
That was amazing. But yeah, look, rest in peace, pints of malt and that. You get me onto bigger things. But now you have a role with Black and Irish.
Yes.
What is your role with Black and Irish?
So I'm the entertainment coordinator for Black and Irish.
Lovely. What does that mean?
Basically, back in, so I think it was February. So Black and Irish set up back in 2020 after the George Floyd incident to try and sort of amplify the voices and the stories of Black Irish people in Ireland. The page got really big, good traction. We're on the news, all this kind of stuff. A lot of publicity towards it. I actually did a video for the page, and so they got a lot of viewership and stuff like that, which was great. And it was only just about like sort of just showcasing Black Irish voices and like talent, I suppose. Black Irish and mixed race. I always forget Black Irish mixed race. But then sort of they wanted to sort of do more and become like a big organization where they do a lot of stuff in different areas. So they sort of put a call out for different coordinators in different areas, whether it be business, education, politics, entertainment, media, all these kind of things. So I went for, it was the events coordinator or events sort of the event manager basically. Well, I didn't get that, but they really liked me, so they wanted to keep me on to do something else. So they sort of created that ends coordinator role for me, where it's just more, it's trying to sort of do a lot of projects between Black and Irish and the entertainment scene and trying to bridge that gap and do a lot and sort of showcase the talents that we have in the entertainment scene. So yeah, that's what we try to do. Like it's still like obviously Black and Irish are still like they've done a lot in a year. We've done a lot in like politics and education, like lobbying the government, lobbying police. A lot of there's been I think the education coordinator she's done a lot of work in like anti-racism workshops and stuff like that for teachers and things. And like our politics coordinator has done a lot of lobbying with like the government, met with different sort of key figures in the government to try and sort of see what can we do for the Black community. We've done a lot with businesses, we've gone out to business to give talks, all this kind of stuff. So and then in entertainment, we've sort of tried to link up with different platforms, try and sort of just build that connection. I suppose the festival.
I was gonna say that's
the big marquee thing that we're trying to do now and trying to put on. But that involves obviously linking in with everybody in the scene.
So for the Culture Festival. Talk to us about
that. So yeah, that started again around the same time I began with Black and Irish. Leon sort of there's the core founders who sort of brought up the idea that they want to run a festival, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. And we've been putting the team together to plan for the last like 6-7 months, and we've planned, and we're working with our partner who's an events company they're like working with the logistics side of things and like trying to all the things with like staging, legalities, all that kind of stuff. And then me personally and like the team are focusing on like getting the acts and putting on a good show. So it's going to be on in Ferry House Racecourse, 28th of May 2022. It's a Saturday, full outdoor festival. Hopefully going to be it's going to be all Black Irish Black Irish.
Everything.
Literally everything Black and Irish in the space. And we really want it to be something for the culture, for the people, for the community. We want to bring in businesses as well to have like different stands at the event. There's going to be cultural areas where parts and platforms can sort of create their content.
Yeah.
We're going to have 2 or 3 stages for the different acts, DJs as well. They'll all hope we're trying our best to make sure there's a gender balance as well. And then we're going to bring in food vendors, hopefully some African and Caribbean ones as well. And yeah, it's all literally just really just doing something for the community, because especially in I suppose Black music or Black entertainment, it's really sort of urban.
Yeah.
But there wouldn't be much representation of that apart from maybe Longitude.
Yeah.
But even then, most of their acts are like international acts. They wouldn't be. They put on 3 or 4.
Yeah. Or they put them like in really weird times and really small stages.
You know, but we want to put the best of the best out there on the big stage, and yeah, it's going to be hopefully 5,000 capacity. Yeah, it's been a lot of work the past month. I've been talking to. I've had so many meetings every week with different, like, whether it be artists or their management.
Yeah.
And then like there's like a whole team. I'm dealing with like artist liaison at the moment. There's a whole team dealing with like creative director, dealing with like the production, dealing with promotion. We're reaching out to sponsors as well. So it's a whole.
That's amazing.
There's a whole team.
So you have made like an Instagram and Twitter page for that, isn't
it?
And it's just called For the Culture.
For the Culture, yeah. Follow it on. Yeah.
Follow that.
And there's the website as well up and running now as well. So fortheculture.ie.
Okay. And like when are tickets and stuff coming out for that?
So like it's TBC. Right? I would hope in the next couple of weeks there'll be an announcement on that. We had a meeting the other day, and we're really starting to push to. There's a few artists that we've confirmed and we have them set. Again, there'll be the big names that like sort of you could sort of you can sort of guess, but like I can't say anything yet. So we have a few of them that hopefully we're gonna announce, and then we're gonna drop tickets as well, and then lead in the next couple of months. Then we'll announce them the full lineup. Hopefully we'll try and get like a really big name as well, but we'll see.
TBC, all of that. But yeah, Kenny, it's been amazing talking to you. You have a lot going on, and my favourite thing about you is that a lot of what you do is in the background, putting other people in front, if that makes sense. And I think that's amazing, because a lot of what we see is people trying to rush to the front all the time. And you're a lovely person, especially except for when you're joining me in slander to slander me things and
if anything, I'm always actually trying to defend you. I'm always there trying to back you. Like.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one. But yeah, no, like there's a lot going on, and obviously if you're listening, I'm gonna put all those links and information to all of those things down there and stuff that already. I would say literally like Pints Malt is something that's gonna be like you're gonna get like a big surge of people listening again at some point.
I hope so.
Like I feel like something's gonna happen and everybody's gonna be like, do you know what I mean? Like things like that always like at some.
Really and truly, up to me, I would bring Slime Motor back in an instant. Slime Malt, man.
Slime Motor is still there.
I would bring Pints and Malt back in an instant.
That's amazing.
But yes, it was a good ride. I suppose like at the moment, if anything, right, it's good that I don't have it. Like my girlfriend, I'm always super busy with different things.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The fact that like I don't have to do that, and it's an extra hour that I don't have to deal with. She's like, all right, cool.
Probably helps.
Yeah. But, look,
it's amazing.
We love it.
Is there anything we missed? Is there anything you want to touch on or let the people know about?
No. I think just let you just follow all the pages that like Slight Motive, Black and Irish, For the Culture. Then have a look out for. There's hopefully a lot of really good content coming from Slight Motive and For the Culture in the next couple of months. That will maybe. I would like to think we'll change the scene and we'll really put people on and really give people the platform that they deserve. So yeah, just keep following, keep subscribing, keep showing love to people, and like literally I asked the slide board, we've been saying it for years that there is something here, and it just needs to sort of blow up. But and also all these people have money to give money, bro, because that's the only way these things can. That's really and truly the only way these things can blow up. Money. Just be back. Like the likes of like someone like Portolo and trust it and like the backing he has. That's what we need from like across the board, so people can really get the props and get the juice that they owe.
Because at the end of the day, like that's what you need, isn't it? Like
exactly.
Like all like liking people's stuff, sharing. Exactly. All that
it's great, but
nice,
we need the backing. Like sponsor Nestle, 7-Up, sponsor.
Just please water or something. Do up a Ronaldo and that, like.
You know, but I thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for coming. Because I basically just like, I basically just like told, I was like, yeah, Kenny, pull up. That's literally like, that's literally my thought process. I'm just like, I think it's something, and I was like, I want to talk to that person, and I'm just like. Even the way I reach out to people, I'm sorry, you guys are probably scared sometimes because I just say your name in it. I'm just like,
as I said, look, it's a breath of fresh air for me. And like the one thing I've always loved is the support you give to everything that you sort of believe in and everything that you like back, and like it goes without saying. So like,
thank you, appreciate that.
Hopefully that support is with.
If I was lighter, my cheeks would be very pink right now. But yeah, it's been HEYITSMENESSER once again with Kenny. I'm gonna put all his information and everything he's spoken about and everything else down there. It's been Ballard falling asleep on cam once again. But yeah, continue to follow HEYITSMENESSER and Nesser Pod for all content related and personal stuff as well. And you know, a lot of the people we've talked about, I've actually already had interviews with them, so you can go back and catch up on those as well. So yeah, thank you.